Hello all, it's the 16th of April 2016, it's Dan here from Essex, United Kingdom. What I intend to do today is give you a basic guide with regards to fruit tree grafting. Now I've learnt most of this over the last 2 years. I did my first grafts 2 years ago and I've had about 70-80% success rate with regards to grafts that I have carried out. So I'm quite happy with that. So what we're going to do is give you a basic tour. So what we got here, okay, this is my grafting kit. I like to keep it in a nice little box because I like to keep it all together. I like to know where everything is. So we'll start off at the bottom. Grafting Fruit Trees, very good book, worth purchasing or borrowing off someone. Larry Southwick, have a look at that. Well, you want a pair of good quality secateurs. Now, these are Felco 2s, okay, and these are around £30. They may even be a bit more than that, but they are extremely sharp. They are Swiss made, but excellent quality. I mean, you can really feel the difference when you're using a good quality pair of secateurs. Okay, so another thing I have is this here. This is my knife that I use, a French-made Opinel 6. Very good knife. Let me just show you. You're going to have to forgive me, I'm doing this on my own here. I don't have anyone to hold the camera at present, but never mind. So here we go. This is the Opinel 6. Now I keep this very sharp, and I also have some sterilising equipment inside, which I've sterilised both of these, this knife and this pair of secateurs, before I've carried out any grafting. And what we got here is some grafting tape. Now you can use flower arranging tape. Now the good thing, all of these things, these secateurs and this Opinel 6 knife, are all available off of Amazon, so you don't even have to leave your house and you can purchase them, as is this grafting tape. Purchased this all off of Amazon a few years ago, so it's all very good stuff. So let me just show you what we've got here. Now this is a root stock, okay. This is a root stock of which I purchased a few years ago from Blackmore Nurseries. You're going to have to forgive the shrubbery around it. I haven't had time to clear it. So I'll show you the graft here. Now this is a form of cleft graft that I did, and you can see this is the scion. A very short scion, because I was learning at the time, didn't get my cuts right, ended up with a very short scion. But never mind, it's taken nonetheless, as you can see very well, and this was all the growth that it put out last year, and you can see it's very much alive. And this is variety Egremont russet, so it's a russeted apple of English variety and worth preserving. And what this plant has done, this rootstock, and this is M26 rootstock, all available from Blackmore Nurseries, it's put out 2 side shoots. So what I intend to do is to do a cleft graft onto this one today, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So what you want to do is you want to get your sterilised pair of secateurs, okay, and I'm going to make a cut here. See that quality of them and how crisp that cut is? And what I'm going to do is use my grafting knife and cut a slit in there. I'm just going to pause the camera and I'll show you what I've done. Okay, so if we look at this, you can see the slit that I have cut in here. I'll just try and lift it up gently so you can see. See in there? You can see that slit. So what I'm going to do is now get my scion, and what I've got here, this is variety Kids Orange Red. Now this is an English variety of apple, I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, and I got these from my mate Vinny over on the channel Sussex Gardening, so you might want to check that one out. Thank you, Vinny. Okay, so now what I've done using my grafting knife, you can see I've cut that there nice and clean and straight into like a sort of wedge, which I'm now going to wedge in here. Okay, so you see that there, that is now in, and what I'm going to do is tape that using my grafting tape. So what you want to do is make sure you get as much live wood to live wood contact as possible to make a nice clean join. And then what you do, you just put it in and then you tape it up. You need to make a seal so water can't get in whilst the graft union is taking. And of course you need to make sure that when you put your scion in, that you stick it the right way up, not upside down, because otherwise the tree won't know where to grow and it won't take. So once again, look at an existing sort of growth and see the buds, here going up. That's how you will know it's in the right way. Okay, so here you go. Now you can see that's all nicely taped up. There's a seal so water can't drip in. It's nice and tight to keep the scion and the original wood together enough to make a good union. So hopefully within the next month or two that'll show signs of life. So why would you want to graft? Well, one reason is so you can preserve older varieties of apples. Of course, this is an issue, older apple varieties dying out, and we don't want that. Another reason would be to have more than one variety on one tree, so that's good as well. And another reason for doing it would be simply to sort of get involved doing something that's a little bit different. I mean, a lot of people, they sort of think there's something mystical about this, but it's not really. You've got to be prepared to just give it a go, like I did 2 years ago. Prior to that, I knew nothing about how to graft whatsoever, but with a bit of learning and studying, and there's so many resources out there, you really can learn to do it. Now, what I would recommend you do is look up the Stephen Hayes Fruitwise YouTube channel. You can learn a lot from him, and that's how I've learnt a lot of my things. I've also got a lot of inspiration from him, and he a few years ago, last year and the year before, also sent me some scions for grafting. Now the scions that you use for grafting, you need to use some of the year previous as growth, okay, which is then cut around the February time, and when the tree is in deep dormancy, and you want to keep that in your sort of fridge so it doesn't come to life. And about this time of the year you then graft when the sap is starting to rise. So let me just show you what we've got. Now you've seen this one here. This was a graft I carried out about 2 years ago with success. This is one here that I carried out about 2 years ago with success down here. This is a very good one. I'm very impressed with this, if I must say so myself. This is onto M27 rootstock, and this will be Lord Lambourne. That's one there. This was one I carried out last year. You can see the graft union is slowly joining together. This was Winter King, and I got one more here that I did, and this is also Winter King onto MM106. So this will hopefully be a decent sized tree. So the graft union is down there. So I hope that's given you a few ideas and maybe a little bit of inspiration to try something new. You can raise your own rootstocks, but you can buy them from a nursery as I did, and you could also graft onto an existing tree as I have done down here. Now another thing that's very important is, unless your memory is particularly good, which mine isn't, make sure you mark out your varieties and what they are. Now what I use is these can just be from drink bottles, yeah? So all you do is you get your drink bottle like that, take a bit out with a hole punch, make a hole and use some string. Make sure you use a permanent marker, which you can keep in your grafting kit, like I have here. Permanent marker, you see. You mark it up and you remember what it is, and hopefully you'll have a successful graft. Okay, take care, speak soon, and happy grafting.